God, I remember going to Catholic church when I was young. I recall going through the motions of First Communion, PSR, and Sunday Mass. Even though I had all this happening in my life, my parents separated, and so did my relationship with you. I stopped attending church altogether. I was spiritually lost, and I refused to let you in when you probably could have helped me the most. When I was 21, I started attending the Catholic Church again, but I was not returning for you. I was returning for a girl that I was dating, who is now my wife of 14 years. I feel like I was not making spiritual choices that I wanted to, but ones that I felt pressured to by my family. All this left me empty and did nothing to help me guide me in my journey back to you. God, we brought all our kids up in the church that we were slowly losing faith in. The writing was on the wall, and we decided we needed a change. Becky had gone to many different churches in her life, but I only knew one. So any change to me was going to be different from what I was used to. We did what I feel like anyone else would do in 2019. We Googled churches in the area. After some extensive research by Becky, she stumbled across Western Reserve Grace Church. I told her we could try it out, but asked if we could watch the first service from the comfort of our couch. It is a good thing we did because I was not expecting what I saw. It was a type of worship that I had never experienced before, and I was kind of taken aback by it. I really enjoyed worship, but I was just not used to the way it was preached. The next week we decided to go in person, and I started to feel like I had a spiritual purpose again. The teachings were explained in a way that I had never heard before, and I was learning about a new reading each week. After only a few weeks, Becky and I felt that we had found our church home. God, I was starting to let you back into my life, but it was still hard. I had been hurt in the past, but I wanted to get beyond that. After only a few months, Becky wanted to join a life group, but I was not sure that I wanted to share my feelings or even feel like I belonged in the group. I still felt lost. Boy, am I glad I took that chance. Kevin and Liz's life group was what I needed to start to put me back on path to you. I may not have shared every week, and I may have kept things bottled up, that I am sure that if I shared, that would have helped me work through some of the tough things I was going through. I still felt great to be a part of a group that literally put all their lives in your hands. The more I went, the more I wanted that. I wanted to be able to finally open to you and show you all my flaws and not to be judged for them. So after a year of life group and over a year at the church, Becky and I decided to become stakeholders. We met with Jason and Kevin for the classes and learned what it meant to hold stake in the church. It was awesome. The classes were over, and all we had left to do was our post-stakeholder class interview with Jason. The interview brought upon the most spiritual day in my life. On the form that we had to fill out for the interview was this question: briefly tell when and how you received Jesus Christ into your life as Savior and Lord. That question stopped me in my tracks because I knew that I had never fully accepted you into my life as my Lord and Savior. It took a while, but I answered it truthfully, not knowing what would happen. Well, something happened, all right. During our interview with Jason, this question came up and I was nervous about it, not knowing what was going to come of it. I had never really opened myself up to someone like this. I am glad I did. Jason, Becky, and I talked about both of our answers to this topic, and it finally came to rest on the fact that I had never fully accepted you. Well, God, I was ready to take that step. That night, I felt you comfort and hold me as I fully received you into my life as my Savior and Lord. You washed over me like a warm tidal wave. I instantly had a smile on my face, and so did Becky. It was by far the most important event in my spiritual life thus far. God, I have only been truly following you for a few months now, but I now see that you have always loved me. God, I remember where I was at the start of 2020, and I am amazed at where I am now. God, I remember, and I am grateful.